Hi, and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. For more, don't forget to subscribe, click like, or select notifications. Today, I have a Pilates practice for you that is going to focus on rest and recovery. Great for beginners, intermediate, advanced, and everyone along their Pilates journey. So come on down to your mat, scoot your feet in nice and close, place one hand to your belly, one hand to the bottom of your ribs. We're just going to try to pull the hands closer together and then separate them a little bit. So every time you breathe, I want you to imagine drawing your rib cage closer to your hips as you exhale, imprinting your lumbar, your lower back. And then every time you inhale, just imagine lifting the rib cage higher from the hips while trying to keep the lower back pushed towards the floor. So we have just a very slight pelvic tuck. You want to keep it more towards neutral than too far forward or too far back. And then just breathing nice and slow. Every breath you take, the hands move slightly further apart as you inhale, slightly closer together as you exhale. So really feel the belly kind of drop towards the spinal column. As you're breathing, check in with your shoulders, with the muscles along your face. You want to feel relaxed. You're going to slowly add some movement, hands towards thighs. Start to pump your fingers up and down, moving into your hundreds. Now you're welcome to keep your head down, your core braced, and your feet down on the floor. You can also take it up a notch by lifting your head up from the mat, eye gaze between the knees, shoulders now pulling down towards your hips. You still have your abdominal brace, and your belly button is still pulled towards the mat. Now, option, of course, you could bring the feet up into a reverse tabletop or extend the legs out, but I'm keeping it nice and easy, so you're welcome to follow along with me and keep your feet down on the floor as you pump those hands. Now, as you pump, you want to feel a little bit of air beside the thighs. Inhale in and out. In and out. Awesome. Take it all the way down. Hands behind the head, elbows out to the sides. Push the belly to the floor. Slowly peel your feet up into that reverse tabletop. And then slowly bring your feet back down to the mat. Good. Peel heel to toe. And then release toe to heel. Awesome. As you do these, check in with your low back. You want to try to keep the core brace, rib cage towards hips, a little bit of flexion along the front abdominal region into the rectus abdominis. And you want to keep the low back pushed towards the mat so you feel nice and strong along the core as you lift the feet up and down. This is very protective for the back, which is why Pilates is so amazing, not only for your abs, but also for your posture. With your feet down on the floor, let's slowly start to lift the head up and down. Again, threading rib cage towards hips, pulling navel towards spine. So you're exhaling as you lift up. And that exhale is going to get into the transverse abdominis. That's the underneath layer. Imagine it like a corset. So every time you lift up, you've got that core, top, bottom, and outer layer engaging. Awesome. As you lift up, the head presses back into the hands, just as the hands press into the back of the head. So you've got length along the neck. Let's add a leg lift, alternating side to side. Option, you could bring the head down to the floor as long as you keep that core brace. Placed one hand onto the stomach so I can really feel my abs connect. And then once you know you've got your mind and your muscle connected, you can just move into the leg lift and lowering. Good. So we're trying to keep our mind on the muscle as we lift the legs up and down. Awesome. Every time you lift a leg up, add an exhale. And that's going to come in handy as we add some twisting along the outer edges of the body right here. Elbow towards knee and release all the way back down to the mat. Now, even as you come back down to the floor, you want to keep your abs connected. So keep the rib cage pulled in and down. Keep the belly button pulled in and down. And keep a little bit of pelvic floor brace. So pull the pelvic floor in and up. Awesome. And here's where we really want to add that exhale as you lift up. Pulling your left elbow over towards your right knee. If you're doing the other side, that's a-okay. We'll switch over there in just a few more moments. Awesome. Let's add a leg extension. So we're going to exhale, come up, elbow to knee. Release the head and release the leg. Now you're just bringing the leg down as far as feels right for you. This is going to depend on your hips and how they're doing today. Going to depend on hamstring flexibility. So if you feel a little bend in the knee at the bottom edge of your range of motion, that's okay too. Work with what we've got and then strive to achieve more every time we revisit our practice. Awesome. Try to bring both shoulders up from the mat. So you've got a strong elevation. Now we're just going to lift that leg up, fingertips towards heel. And we're going to lift the hips up, kind of peeling bone by bone up from the mat, and then imprinting bone by bone back down to the floor. Good. So hip bridge, single side. You could also take that right leg or the lifted leg and cross ankle over knee if you need a little bit more. Awesome. We're keeping our abs pulled in and down. If you need to connect or you need to double check, you place your fingers kind of right above the hip bone and pull the abs in and down away from the fingertips. Awesome, almost there. And now we're going to switch sides. Let's bring the other leg up, hands behind head. Start with that twist, elbow towards knee. Good, exhaling. Bringing yourself up and adding that twist. Go ahead, single leg crisscross. So elbow over towards knee, knee up into that reverse tabletop position. Slight point into the toes, just enough to keep the foot engaged. Feel a little bit of tonicity in the calf muscle. Back is imprinted towards the floor and the core is doing most of the work. Awesome. Add the leg extension. Lift and twist. Release and hold those abs in tight. Awesome. Now when we connect into the core, we have the pelvic floor drawn in and up. We have the navel pulled in and down. We have the rib cage pulled down and back. Awesome. So we've got a lot going on. And then our hope is with time and with practice, it all becomes second nature. So we don't have to work as hard, but we can get a little bit more benefit from each time we revisit our practice. Now, I noted this was a rest and recovery day. We're doing the single leg bridge work now. But this is not an easy practice. So whether you are beginning, intermediate, or advanced, if you can focus on your core, if you can focus on really working through each movement, no matter what level you are in your Pilates practice, this workout is going to be challenging for you. Awesome. Peel up bone by bone and then imprint down bone by bone, and we are done with that. Let's add in both legs. Pressing heels towards hips. Peel your hips up from the floor, abs in and down. Slowly imprint bone by bone. Your head is pushed back down into the floor, so we got length along the neck. And you're looking up towards the ceiling, maybe even slightly behind you to keep that length along the neckline. Awesome. So tailbone to kind of mid-shoulder line, and then mid-shoulder line down to tailbone. We peel the hips up from the mat and then slowly bring the hips back down, glutes nice and tight the whole time. Good. We've got 4 more. Drive through the heels. Feel the work not only in the glutes, but you also want to feel it in the backs of the thighs, in your hamstrings. We're also keeping the connection into the abs. Let's do those last 2. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. We've got 1 more. Peeling up nice and slow with control, imprinting back down bone by bone. Let's extend the legs all the way out. Feet about that distance apart, hands behind the head. You're just going to lift up, pull the ribcage towards the hips, navel towards spine, look towards the toes. Bring it up as high as you can, and then slowly bring it back down. Good. Ribcage towards the hips, pull, 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 and then release. So imagine you're kind of truncating or shortening the length along the front of the torso every time you lift yourself up. Elbows stay out in the peripheral range of motion into the periphery of your vision. Head stays pushed back into the hands and the neck stays long throughout. So the chin never touches the chest. We keep the neck long as we look out towards the toes. Good. This is kind of a neck pull prep. We're going to bring it up, twist it over to the side. Bring your back along the back edge of the mat. Bottom hand cradles the head. Top hand in front of the abs. Knees bent. So this is great for you all with tight hamstrings. We're going to do a leg lift and lower. This is also a great move to prepare us for side leg lift. Great exercise for the outer thigh, for the glute, and then for that love muffin region right above the hip line. Top hand is reminding us to keep our core braced, navel towards spine. Bottom hand is there like a pillow for the head. You could also bring your head down and rest it on your shoulder if that's more comfortable for you. Good. Every time we lift up, light pause at the top so we can feel that squeeze along the outer thigh line. Awesome. From crown to hip, like we're in between 2 panes of glass, we're going to bring the leg up to about the hip bone line, swing it forward, and then push back. So we are not moving anything from the hips to the crown. It's just the leg, just through the hip. This is a great prep move for front back kicks with the knee bent. It's really challenging to keep your body still and steady while working through the full range of motion of that top leg. Awesome. And you can always move that top arm if you want to bring the leg in just a little bit closer. But I found this is perfect for me and my range of motion here. Now from the front back, we're going to slowly move into circles next. So after this one, bring the knee around, up, and down around the back. Awesome. Nice and slow. With control. Again, still no movement from the torso. We're staying cemented in place and just circling the leg up, down, and around. Awesome. If you, like me, are starting to feel it into the outer thigh, you need that reminder that we've only got 2 more. Last one. Good, feeling it into the top of the glute. Oh, but let's take it in the other direction. Fantastic. You are halfway there. Let's do 4 more, sweeping back up, down, and around. 3, 2, 1. And now let's take that top leg, place it up nice and close to the hip line. We're going to extend the bottom leg nice and long. And then inner thigh leg lift right here. Good. Toes pointed to the front edge of the mat. Feel the inner thigh, the adductor, lifting and lowering. Good. Halfway there. Let's do 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Bring it around. Now, before you go on to the other side, as you sweep the legs around, let's add a stretch. Good. So we're stretching out that top thigh. Good. Let's go ahead and bring it down. Do that same movement along the other side. Add some stretches and you are on your way. So this is the home stretch of your workout, lifting and lowering, bringing that top leg up and down, side leg, outer thigh, outer glute, core braced. Go ahead, everything from the hips to the crown of the head like a statue. So unmoving, strong as that concrete foundation that we need to keep our posture long and strong. Good. Feeling it right in the outer thigh, outer glute, abs braced, hip lifting up and down. Let's slowly start to move forward and back. Good. So front back kicks with your bent knee. Just going with what range of motion feels right for you and your body today. If you feel your body swaying forward and back, try to implement just a little bit more control over your trunk, over your abs and your back. Awesome. Let's do one more. And then let's change from front back movement to our circles. Good, nice and slow with control. You'll notice I slow it down once I bring it towards the back. That's where for me, and maybe like you as well, I feel a little bit more unsteady and I feel like I really need to focus on my posture and on the control that I'm implementing in my trunk. Let's take those circles the other direction. Fantastic. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. Last 1. Let's move from the outer thigh to the inner thigh. Sweep that leg forward. Bottom leg extends out. Abs brace, tummy tight, lift and lower. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there. 2, last 1. Awesome. Let's add in those stretches once again. Coming up, twisting to the other side so we get the stretch along what was our top leg. Oh, it feels so good to have our workout completed. Feeling so good. Nice and stretched out. Easy-ish workout. Legs extended all the way. Let's reach out towards our toes. Good. Forehead bent towards the middle of the mat. Stretching out along the hamstrings, the glutes, and the back. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet together into our bound angle. Release the knees, open along the inner thighs for those adductor movements that we did. You can add a little shaky shake side to side. And then come into whatever seated position feels right for you. Add a little bit of a twist. Looking over the back shoulder, getting into those obliques. Twist to the other side. Awesome. Then bring it into the center. Big stretch up to the sky. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale, bring those arms down halfway, and then you better bring it in. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take care, be well, and I'll see you on the next workout. For more, please like and subscribe to let me know you want more videos like this one. I appreciate you watching. You can also follow me on social at HealyFit. Until next time, be well.